Rostermania has begun.
I'm excited.
It's good. It's
Between
good.
the beta, all the team changed. So I think we're pumped because, think back to last year when and we'll talk more in depth about that, but when the Gauntlet stuff was going down, there was either going to be like a change or like the shit was just going to hit the fan.
Oh, yeah.
Like finally the shit's now hitting the fan.
Oh.
So we're getting ready for the next title. So
Oh my god, and it's the perfect time too, right? The hype of the beta is there. We're still riding off what was a great champs. We just had the kind of Call of Duty esports exposition in Gamescom, which we just got back from, and now already the rumors are flying around. Changes have begun. We wanted to sit down and make a video and make this episode 1 because of the stuff we've heard behind the scenes, the stuff that's not out yet to the public. There is more to come.
Yeah. I mean, we've heard some inner stuff, and we're all going to talk speculations, obviously, at this point, because not a lot has been final as far as we've heard. So mostly going to speculate, and then obviously talk down the road when things start to happen. So first things first, we just want to go through sort of the list of free agents, take a little bit more time on certain ones, obviously. Yeah. So we're just going basically off of Reddit, Twitter, everything we've seen happen. So first thing we're going to talk about was going to be Josh off of Epsilon. I think for me, I'm not surprised. I mean, maybe a little surprised because he's one of the greater EU players of all time. We're going back to Boots, where I think he would excel more, but I'm not shocked. I mean, he was struggling to find.
And I think the big thing with this free agents list too, we're going to try to do this with no cuts, so it's just raw what we're thinking, what we're saying. We can kind of cruise through these a little bit because we're also updating the community. Because for a lot of people, again, Reddit threads or random Twitch streams, we're kind of compiling as much as we can. So names that come to mind, and we'll just read off the free agent list right now. We might forget a couple, but Josh, obviously of Epsilon, M. Ruiz, the name from E6, rated top European player. Mochilla, who we saw, bounce around a lot in Infinite Warfare. Parasite and Havoc, now both off EG. Aches, Priesta, Assault, and Exotic, all splitting off of Cloud9. And then finally, the newest big one to be thrown into the fray, which is Facento. Obviously, we'll talk a little bit about the Envy stuff next, but Facento, and these are some huge names, especially going to Boots.
Yeah.
You can make a solid team with just this list.
Yeah, you really could. I don't know. There's only 2 EU big ones on here, and Josh and Rated, and I don't even know what the relationship is between Rated and the guys, but I feel like him and Dave had like a friendly banter.
We're talking on Epsilon.
Yes. Josh leaving Epsilon, like I would wonder, I don't think it's going to happen, but I would love to see, I think Rated going to Epsilon, that team would be sick as hell. And I have no idea if it's been chatted about. I don't even know if Rated gets along with those guys, and Rated can be a head case, but he's a very, very skilled player. He would have no trouble finding kills where Josh struggled.
And they can. I think that's a pretty damn good matchup for Splice too. I mean, that could be something that if that Splice team stays together, which right now, from everything I've seen, I think Splice and Optic are really only the 2 of the teams that I feel pretty confident in them sticking together. Well, obviously Optic's not changing.
The only other thing that was interesting is when we were in Germany, I was talking to Zero, and Zero's like, I said, how's up with the team? You guys ready for next year? He's like, haven't really talked to him since champs. So, and he didn't say anything was bad, but he's like, we haven't really chatted, so.
It's a little bit of downtime. Everyone's taking vacation, I get it, but okay, well maybe there's even changes coming there. I mean, you got 2 previous world champions on this list with Parasite as well as Aches. Facento, don't sleep on him either. This is a huge pickup. Look at his champs resume now. I know that they are in the Jetpack games and not Boots, but this is a guy that got 2nd with Team Revenge, right? What did he get? Third the year after in Black Ops 3, and then
3rd this year.
3rd this year with Rise?
3 top 3s in a row. It was absurd.
I mean, that's absolutely nuts.
Yeah, and I think for Cloud9, I didn't get all of the details on that, but I don't think that was as much maybe a team wanting to break up, because I was curious to see how they would do. It's more, I think, Cloud9 pulling out of COD for now. Because remember at the end of, middle or end of Black Ops 3, they sort of left COD, then they came back. Right now with this 3-month law, I mean, if I was Jack and C9, I don't want to pay salaries for the next 3-4 months, so it might be something where they're out of it, they come back next year when we're closer to the league. I'm not really sure, but that's where I probably think the issue is. Like Cloud9 just kind of pulling out for now, and now they're figuring stuff out.
And again, we still have to see where all these teams go, and right now, I tweeted, this could be the most stacked free agent list we've ever seen with the stuff that's still pending for what we're expecting to still happen. The biggest one now, the reason why it's even more stacked is we now have 3 more free agents in JCap, John, and Apathy just announced yesterday. Slasher, the only player remaining on Envy. Who the hell?
Oh, is your phone not on silent?
It's my mother.
Oh.
Sorry, Mom.
That's okay.
But no, either way, that was announced. So now Slasher, the Lone Ranger left on Envy, you've got 3 champions, world-class players now entering the free agent pool.
Okay, so let's rewind a little bit. Just let's talk present first with Hastro's tweet. So Hastro basically said, hey, this was an org thing. This was players don't want to play together thing. Yeah. Now, I think what people don't realize, you go back to when everything was going down with Gunless, FaZe, United. I don't know if everyone realizes how much of a shitstorm that could have been, in the sense that basically every team outside of Optic had discussed team changes during that. Yes. I mean, some of the stuff we heard was crazy. Like, we thought it'd be kind of all or nothing. It ended up being one trade instead of what could have been like a 5-team, all in the top 8 of North America making a swap. Yep. So when you see Hastro saying like they had problems back before the Pro League, absolutely true. I mean, we heard all this stuff, and it was like, I can't believe these guys are going to play together, which is what made the fact they made a run to the Champs Final,
even
and
more
also
ridiculous.
to the Stage 2 Final. And then they did not want to play together.
And that was even the tweets that we saw from Slasher at Anaheim. Like, I think they wound up getting knocked out, and the first thing he does is like tweets at Hook and Temp, and immediately starts doing stuff. And that's really the next speculation we're going to try to start to get into.
Yeah,
is the whole, what is Envy? Because there are rumors flying everywhere. There's been odd shots of streams. There's been speculation. I think everyone in the community right now is on the same page that Slasher did this, and I think Apathy talked about it in his stream too, that Slasher did this to get back the core trio of him, Temp, and the prodigal son himself, Kyler, a.k.a. Hook.
Okay, so again, nothing has been confirmed necessarily, but it's been talked about enough in the community, leaked by pro players, that I think we can at least touch on it. So, I don't know how strongly you feel about Hook, but I feel that Hook is a once every 5 to 10 years type of player. I think he has done what very few people have. He's sort of like the opposite of Formal, in the sense that Formal won a lot in Halo, or started to win a lot, then switched over and dominated COD quickly. Hook forced to do the opposite because he wasn't 18. He won in Halo, and I don't even know exactly how many months it was, but it was something stupid.
Didn't take long.
And now he's widely considered, I think, in the conversation as maybe the best player in Halo. If he wants to come back, which I think is the speculation, I don't think this is even Slasher's team. I think this is Hastro. This is Hook's team. Like, he is going to be a god for the next 7 years. He just turned fucking 18.
Yeah.
Like, he is going to be incredible, may go down as one of the best players of all time.
Yeah, and this guy in Advanced Warfare went from being nothing at the start to... Remember he played like CouRage at the start of the game, and my first ever event, I remember hearing about him, people were like, I faced him in pubs, and he dropped 124 kills in 7 minutes, and I was like, what does that mean? Then he gets, 6 second places? 5 of them, I think, to Optic Gaming, because that was when Optic were really on their tear. And what a resume in just 1 year.
Exactly, and I think there are a lot of maybe people that came in during Black Ops 3 hadn't really heard of him. I saw some questions on the Reddit like, why is everyone so hyped about this Hook guy? He was so good so quickly, and then transferred to another game and was so good so quickly, that just doesn't happen.
No.
So yeah, I mean, I think this is just if this is what ends up happening, it's just more of you have some players that are maybe past their prime or towards the tail end of their prime that they're going to get rid of, and they're going to build a young squad around it. But what was the AW team for the Denial, where they got second of Worlds, is what? Hook, Replays, Temp, Classic, correct?
Yes.
That was the 4-man team. So I think a lot of the speculation has been around...
Hook? Wait, you said Hook?
It was Hook, Temp, Replays, Classic, or did I screw that up?
Or Slasher Classic. Not Replays Classic, I thought it was Slasher.
Slasher Classic.
At AW Worlds?
Yes. Or am I thinking of...
No, AW Worlds was Slasher Classic.
Yes. Why am I thinking Replays? Oh, just because then I probably won a chance. That's what's in my head. But if you had to think of the 2 players then that would most likely be considered for this, you would say...
Classic Replays.
Classic Replays, or what, TJ Haley, but...
Yeah.
I mean, that's something I guess we can talk about next, because there seems to be...
Even just making this video.
Yeah.
Like, there's already been new odd shots of, like, players talking in a stream yesterday. I think it was, like, on JCap's stream, and other people were talking in the background. I'm not sure which player it was that said it. You watched the clip, but you just referenced the name.
I couldn't tell if it was, like, Nameless and Cap, but there were people talking, and Rise was mentioned, and I heard mention of TJ going to the squad. So going
to Rise Nation.
Yes, and again, I don't think you can take anything as concrete until you hear it directly from the org or from the players, but... I mean, it was said publicly.
We know as much as the majority of the community, so that's why, like, we're just speculating as well. But I know a lot of people have been tweeting me, been tweeting you, saying, "What the hell is going on?" So we're like, let's make our own reactions to things. Let's speculate ourselves, because this is the fun. And we talked about, Hook, who's been a pro in Halo now, potentially coming back. But you also have to talk about the other Halo players who now are potentially thinking of coming back, right? It's not only Hook, but I have talked to, and before this video, reached out to some very, very trustworthy sources in the Halo scene, and they have told me that, Jack, not only are semi-pro and mid-tier pro players considering switching, but top-class Halo professionals switching over to Call of Duty for this next season and giving it a shot.
Well, and I think if you go back to Ghost, there's players that certainly tried to pave the way. You had Snipe Down, we've already seen Tweet Vicento. He tried to switch over, and he played with that Excellence team back then. But remember, it was the Primal team that sort of kicked things off.
Ace was involved.
That was Ace, Enable, Formal.
Forget the fourth.
Oh God, I'm forgetting the fourth as well. But basically, the only two that kind of made it through and ended up sticking with it were Enable and Formal that have sort of.
And they've done okay.
Yeah, Formal's what, our fourth most wins. So there definitely is precedence for that making sense. And when you look at Halo, where I don't think they've announced like prize pools, structure.
I haven't picked up enough.
I haven't really heard anything, and I think there's. I don't know that Halo 5 is currently the most popular game with them. They've been playing it for 3 years now. I'd be excited to see if we switch over because I'm of the opinion, if you were a god, if you are top. And I'm talking like top 1 to 3%. Like they're really, really good players. I think any of them could switch.
And I think the big worry is always search and destroy, right? It's so drastically different from anything to play because Halo's so used to respawn. But I mean, Formal wasn't the best S&D player in Ghost, but
it took him some time.
You could see how fast he improved in the game mode to now what he is today, where we talked about how much of a shot caller he was for Optic on this Champs run. It's nuts. And now the big thing we want to touch on at the end, because I want to kind of keep this concise and keep it going, because this is just our first one. Is potential for returning players. I mean, we've already seen Embo's tweet about he wants to be a free agent. I know Proofy's kind of hinted at it. Us from like kind of chatting with TP and Merc, like by no means are they coming back, but even us, we've been planning to see like, come on, you get a good offer, boy. Right, you got to come on back in. I mean, who knows? Fears and Legal, who kind of took a little bit of a break in Infinite Warfare, and we even go as far as saying nade shot. Potentially, I see my battery clicking. See the battery up there?
Oh, that's good.
Well, either way, already this has been 10 plus minutes long. But do you think that this could happen? Could these?
Yeah, I think they could, but I don't. Oh God, I love Teep and Merc, and I don't really care. I don't think any of those guys are going to come and really shake things up. Could they place a top 8 or something on team? Yeah, absolutely. But do I see them being on like a top team that's challenging Optic Gaming?
This is lit. We try to update everything. We went quick with this one. My battery is dying on my camera. This was one take, 0 edits. We're going right with it. Let me know in the comments what you like. Destroy the like button on this if you want to see more. If you want to see more speculation from Grandpa Maven and Uncle Jack. For now, though, things are lit. We're going to try to get these out, especially through Rostermania. Huge amount of support on the channel. Go follow Maven. Subscribe to the channel. Love you all. We'll see you next time.